And welcome to another beautiful morning. Today we are going to be looking at array chunking. Array chunking. Now, given an array and a chunk size, let's say the function that we are supposed to write is chunk, and we are given an array. You can see this array 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are given the chunk size. Now, this function is supposed to create an array with subarrays, and the length of the subarray should be the chunk size. So this is an array of subarrays. We have the first array 1, 2, and 3, 4. Now, why are we having 1, 2, and 3, 4? Because the size is 2. So the subarrays has to contain two elements, because the size is 2. That's why we're having only 1 and 2. And in the second one, we're also having 1 and 2. Let's take another example. Given this array and the chunk size of 2, so we're going to be having two elements for the subarrays until all the elements in the given array is exhausted. So that's why we're having 1, 2 first, then we're having 3, 4 second, then we're having only 5 because it's not up to 2 again. Now, let's say we are given this other array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're given size of 3. That means each of the subarrays in the newly created array will be having a length of 3, 3. So that's why we're having 1, 2, 3. Then in the second one 4, 5, 6. In the third one 7, 8. So it doesn't matter the length of the last one, provided we've exhausted the elements in the previous subarrays. So that's what we're going to be trying to do in this function chunk array. And these are the tests. First of all, we're going to determine that chunk is actually a function, and we are going to be giving samples. Let's say we are given this. What are we supposed to get? We are supposed to get this, and this. Then if we are given this one again, what are we supposed to get? Supposed to get this, and this, if the chunk size is 1. So those are the tests. So let's get to work. So how do we go about coding this? First of all, we're going to declare an empty array, call it chunked, that will take up the chunks when we'll finally finish chunking them. So we're going to have const chunked. So that's the first thing we are having, const chunked. And this constant chunked is going to be equal to an empty array. So that is going to take what will be our final big array that is going to have the subarrays. So now we're going to iterate through the given array. So let's say we are given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to iterate through in order to build the chunk array. So to do that, to always iterate, you're always going to use the for loop. So we're going to say for let element. We are going through all the elements of the given array. Let element of array, because that is what we are given. So as it's going through this array, what are we expected to do? Now we're going to declare constant last. This last is going to be the last element in any given array. So but now we are considering the chunks, and you know that for the first go there is no last in the chunks, but later when we start adding we'll be having last. So that's what we mean by last. So let the last element in the chunk be chunked. You already know that we created chunked.length. So you have chunk.length minus 1. We all know that is the way we locate the last element, minus 1. So that is going to be the last element. Please let me increase this so that it will not look somehow. So you can see now we have minus 1 here. So that's how you locate the last element, given a length of any array. That's how you locate the very last element of the array. Now, so having known what last is, we can simply say if we just declare last, so that when we are using it we will know what to say. So we say if there is no last. So if there is no last for this chunk now that I've not added anything, there is no last actually. So if there is no last, or and also if the last dot length, if there is no last and if last dot length, or if there is no last, that means if there is nothing here, or if last dot ends dot length, that, or if the last element, the length is not equal to the size, that's the chunk size. So if there is no last and the length is not equal to the chunk size, then we are supposed to now build the chunk. That's what we're supposed to do. So we're simply going to say chunk dot push. So build the chunk dot push. So what do we push into this chunk? We simply push the element that we are looking at. Remember that we say that we are iterating through all the elements of the given array. So push that very element into the chunk. So that's what we do. And you know it has to be in form of an array. So that is what we are going to do. So that's how you're going to be pushing. But what if we find out that it is actually there is a last? What if we find out there is a last? What if we find out that there is already an element inside the chunk? What do we do? So what we are going to do is we are going to simply say last. So that last element, that element that is already there, we're going to simply push the element we are considering to it. And like play, we are done. So that's what we're going to do. So with that, we are actually done. So what do we do when we are done? We simply return chunk. That's what we do. So once we are done, we return chunk. So with that, we are done. So I'm gonna try to explain this once more. So what we did was that we created an empty array chunked, which is what we returned there, and which is actually what we need. But what is supposed to be the content of this chunk? It's supposed to contain subarrays having the size of this very size here, because that's what we have here. This is the given array, this is the size. So that is what it's supposed to contain. And so how do we build this? We simply go through the given array. So we go through this one by one. So once we go through it, we are supposed to do this. But first of all, we need to know what last is, because we want to be using last as a variable to do this. So we say last is equal to chunk.length minus 1. So last is equal to chunk.length minus 1. So for each chunk that we are having inside this chunk, the chunk.length minus 1, which is the last element, that's what last is. So we will now say if there is no last, that's if this is empty, nothing is here first, or if last.length is equal to size, or if we've actually reached the size that we want. So they say chunk.push element. We'll just push the element since it is last. If there means there's no last, there is nothing here, we'll just push the element there. Else we'll now say, but if it is not the last, that means something is actually there and it's not actually equal to the size. That means you can still take more elements. Push another element. Say after pushing 1, push 2 into the last. So we now have 1 and 2. So the same thing, we are pushing this element, the second element that we're considering, into the last. And once we do that, we can return the chunk. So please, if you like this, hit the subscribe button and like and share our videos. Thanks for your subscriptions and support. If you have any concerns, drop them in the comment section.